Now, I can only talk for myself. My moral code is what drove me. So I have a very high standard that I hold myself to, of ethical and moral codes or compasses, however you want to refer that to. But, in your own story or how you relate to it, how does that moral code play in? What's that driving force?
Well, I want to first start by saying that morals and ethics were really instilled by my parents, specifically my mother,
Mm-hmm.
about just honesty and not being afraid to do the right thing when no one else is. So I'm a big believer in transparency and being fair. Not that life is fair, but giving people a fair shot of respect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that operating by a high standard of, which is something I strive to do,
Mm-hmm.
high standard of morals and ethics, it creates a certain level of dignity in what you do. And once you start living with that, that like predisposition and that expectation for yourself, your whole life changes when you're not leading with actions, but you're leading with morals.
Right.
And it's only helped my life for the better. And it doesn't always lead to a positive outcome, whether fiscally or physically or with relationships. But at the end of the day, I know that if I operate ethically, I can rest my head at night knowing that I did the right thing and I was the person that I want to be or trying to become.
Mm.
Wow. So how does all this connect with what you, I mean, first of all, what do you currently do with Radio Creations, and how does that connect with what you do now? I mean, obviously you're a marketing genius, so it makes sense that you're working in a marketing company, but how do you see, is there a connection between the cemetery work and what you're doing now with Radio Creations?
So there is, what I'm about to say has been completely hijacked and overused, but I actually love this term, and that's storytelling. Every other person on LinkedIn's a storyteller. Every influencer is a storyteller.
Sure.
And yeah, it gets used just like every person's an influencer these days. But when I realized that this work that I want to do with cemeteries, it has the ability to positively impact others, I had to kind of find a way to communicate that in a bite-sized, easy-to-swallow pill for the general public, because most people don't think about cemeteries day to day. I do. I'm weird like that. But you have to package it in a way that's relatable. And like having my marketing background, which is about selling something or trying to convince people that your product is best, your service is better than the rest, or that there's a certain brand that you want to establish. It's all a matter of being able to bring yourself or the service or the product to an audience that will be received in a positive way. So I see Preserve Us as having part of our mission is to preserve, protect these memories. And every person has a story. And with our platform, we actually allow people to document the story of their loved ones that have passed. And at work, day to day, with clients that I work with, I have to be able to take their brand and bring them into a room of 1,000 people and figure out that where's grandma tactic that I had with myself. And it's something that I find really challenging, but it's also it's an area that I feel I get to express my creativity in. I'm not an artist per se, but I love the challenge of being able to communicate cretively. Yeah. And I think marketing really has helped me do that and take it in my startups and also in my day-to-day job.